Hello, hello, hello. Anybody can hear me? Welcome to another exciting episode of Super Desperation Radio, February 18th edition.
Season 2, Episode 3.
That's the date.
Yeah. We've lost count of episodes since we started, so...
It's over...
9,000?
60 episodes so far.
60 episodes. And not even all of them. And there's a bunch of lost episodes, too, that people don't know about.
Twitch, decides to kill all of our old episodes. It's great. I'm getting an echo from someone.
Hopefully it's not me.
Not me.
Who knows?
Gibby, you're just echoing yourself.
Well, I don't hear an echo, so the stream is okay with it.
I'm pretty sure Gibby's streaming from a cave.
Yeah, actually a cave with my sheep that's on the outside.
Excellent. Hey, man, eat that lamb. But yeah, so we hopefully you all enjoyed the Saturday special where you got to see some of the unseen footage from the SCR Arcade Shock booth. We will. I don't know if we're going to try to do something like that again. I would like to. We've got some ideas, but no. So far, we won't have anything set in stone yet. Everybody hears an echo, or as Ramek does. Whatever. Other than that, I hope you also enjoyed watching me get lit up. Now there you go.
What could that be?
I don't know. And now it's gone. Damn it, Gibby! Get out of the cave.
Oh man! So it is me then? Because I'm hearing it. It sounds as if it's coming from someone else's speakers.
Maybe it's coming from. Well, it's gone now. So
I'm gonna try and monitor where sound is coming from. So just continue.
That's what I've been doing.
Okay. Anyway, so but other than that, we had a pretty lax weekend. It was a nice day off, I guess, for everybody. Valentine's Day. Be with your loved ones. Don't play KOF and get angry, like I generally do. But I think I'm ready for some more action, and we've got some things coming up for you this week. But first, of course, are the recaps. Nothing in NorCal, of course, except for that Friday tournament, which I still don't really know how it went.
I believe Thrustin won.
Oh, good. Yes, Dustin, the last bastion of hope for new NorCal KOF players.
He's not new though. He's been playing since last NCR.
He's new to these guys.
Okay, well,
he's the last bastion of East Bay.
Little note on Thrustin. I played him last year at NCR in casuals, and I honestly feel, or at that time, he was at the level to compete with everyone at Southtown Arcade, and he definitely could have gone further at NCR last year. He was better than every other NorCal player I played outside of BBZ. And he made good decisions, really smart player. He was better than the majority of players who came from SoCal that have been playing the game since arcade days. Now, not like the big name players, but like the newer players we have down here. He was better than all of those guys. And
I agree.
I do feel he and Thomas though, were both at about the same level. Except Thomas was a better rushdown player, while Thrustin was smarter.
Okay. Well, no, I've played Thrustin before at events at MLG Fight Bar and Grill Fight Night thing. It was back when we did that stupid 1v1 team tournament thing, and he beat my Joe with his Clark. So, but it was really solid Clark, at least for the time. Yes, Pixel, even better than you.
Yeah, I'm telling that in chat. Now it could be different, but I mean it's been a year since I played the guy, so I don't know how he is now.
Well, anyway, beyond that, he won today. Good for him. What else was going down in SoCal? I missed the run back this week.
Paul Sanchez, you guys were at the run back this past week, right?
I think we commentated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
They allowed you guys on commentary?
Yeah, they let two white people commentate KOF.
Hey, it was pretty clean cut. We didn't really offend anybody.
No, I definitely only used the word Spix once.
And I
man.
didn't actually cuss the entire time.
What a world.
You're not living up to the SDR name, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Hey, dude, I have to, they're paying me wait, no, they're not.
Oh.
But we are on somebody else's stream in that case, so we don't really get to control what we do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's true.
We just hope that when,
you guys go down there and commentate. You live up to their standards, and when they come on here, they talk hella shit and say a bunch of stupid, retarded shit.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
They have to be like us, win in Rome, all that.
Yeah, exactly. I've just realized something, though. With YouTube being on commentary and with Gibby and Sanchez being on commentary for IE Battlegrounds, SDR pretty much has a monopoly on KOF commentary.
I hope so.
Yeah. Illuminati.
Oh, does that mean that MLG is going to pay me to whistle into the
MLG's
mic?
not having fighting game tournaments anymore. Don't be silly.
They
Sorry.
might come back. You never know. They might be like, "Hey, you guys open to an idea yet? You want to make some money or not?"
Nah,
It's
dude,
almost
you
as if
guys
somebody
aren't
ruined
juice
it.
box quality. I'm sorry.
Aw.
Okay, that's it. Did he just said I'm Juicebox quality? I'm kicking him.
That's happening.
Well,
but
he's gone.
Grand finals this week was Ricky Diaz versus Duck. And I think Ricky won. Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricky
Yeah,
definitely won.
Ricky
It
won
was-
after I think Duck reset it.
Yeah, he reset. And then it was a pretty, from what little I recall of it, it was pretty convincing after the reset. There was a lot of sloppy play though, but I remember that about it. Like both people were kind of playing a little bit too scared. Yeah, I don't know. All
Yeah,
I
it was a
remember,
little sloppy, and then Ricky seemed to have been the one that composed himself quicker.
yeah, and I remember a whole lot of Hawajai running wild.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty tight.
There's definitely a lot of that.
So
It's almost as if people don't know how to fight that character.
What, Hawkeye?
yeah, definitely.
And Ricardo's Hwaja actually doesn't get drunk. So
Oh, he's pretty
started
sober.
to-
Oh, he's a
okay.
straight edge Hawkeye?
Like the whole winners finals and grand finals, he barely used it in the first set, up to the first set of grand finals, and then once it got reset, he did it a couple times. But yeah, he wasn't relying on it like a lot of players do.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly a straight edge Hwaja. He was more of like a social drinker Hwaja.
Well, if you guys are drunk, I'm not going to be left out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, time to fight Chin? We'll see about getting drunk. And I think Shin Kodo
Speaking
was
of
the one
Hawajai, sorry about that.
no problem.
Speaking of Hawajai, though, this is kind of relevant to the situation because I was looking at. So obviously, the frame data for King of Fighters has been out actually for a decently long time, but recently somebody compiled it and put it in a Google Doc that's really easy to see. It's missing 2 characters, Maxima and someone else. I don't really remember.
I think it's Robert that's also missing.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at Hwajai's advantage on all of his normals, and the most negative thing he has is -1. And I thought that was like, are you serious? Like, it's really hilarious.
Wait, what's -1? His slide?
No. -1 is his standing D. His slide is -4, but
You can
that's if
cancel
you're that's if you're in front of him. If you do a late slide, you get +5 on block. So
Doesn't work like that for Joe.
yeah, I thought that was really hilarious. In case you guys are curious what I'm talking about, I'm going to add it into the chat. And obviously, we're gonna have to do something about this later.
What's up?
Oh, Bugs, if you can, put the link up on the stream.
The link for this page?
Yeah, the Google Doc.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Very long link, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I could probably throw it through like a Bitly or something.
Yeah, do that. And put it
Well, actually, I got another one I could use, but I don't think anybody wants to use that.
Well, wow, I'm looking at this and yeah, nice.
Yeah, just make the shortcut for like KOF frame data. That way
Yeah.
people don't have to go crazy with.
Okay.
But
So,
in the biggest news to come out of last week, the date for NCR finally is set,
Yeah.
and
Date and
it
venue.
will be April 26th through the 28th in Sunnyvale at a familiar location to most people who've been to an NCR a couple years ago, or even Strong Style 4, the Domain Hotel.
Definitely some good years coming out of that for me. That's where I got my name.
Really?
That's where I got the name Hot Pockets, which eventually became Hell Pockets.
Did you just eat a lot of Hot Pockets?
You don't know the story?
Chris, I don't care that much about you.
Well, if we have time, I'll tell you the story about how I got the name Hot Pockets before the show ends.
All right. But, yeah, I mean, it's finally nice to have it. I know there apparently was some, I guess, issues with I don't even know what, because apparently they were just bouncing around dates or venue or something. But finally everything's secured, and we're a go. So that's good. It's a little bit later than I was expecting it to be, obviously.
I think that had a lot to do with the fact that there were some hiccups, and originally they didn't really know when they were going to do it either. There was like some dates thrown around amongst certain circles, but otherwise it was like I don't know when it's going to happen. And
Yeah.
NCR's like one of those tournaments that kind of bounces around the calendar lately. Like it used to be like pretty much only in the winter, and then we would have Super NCR in the summer.
Hmm.
But now it's kind of like, I guess we can go in between either one of those. And now with the Road to EVO series happening, it's more of a crunch to get it all in before July.
Yeah, that's true. The good thing, though, is that it gets it further away from Final Round, which I know a lot of people are planning on going to. And it's kind of nicely put between Final Round and UFGT
Yeah.
in terms of Road to EVO. I know that East Coast Throwdown should be sometime in May as well. So that's a problem, but it's been that way for the last couple of years with UFGT and East Coast Throwdown roughly the same time.
Oh, good. Hopefully everybody can make it out to whatever tournament they want to. I know I personally cannot go to all the tournaments I wanted to this year because of work. But,
Yeah, well, I mean, not like everybody has a lot of money, and given how far away people are, like, I don't know about you guys, but I looked into flying to Atlanta for Final Round, but the tickets from California, you're paying over $400 at least.
Oh wow.
yeah, it's
And
not fun.
and that's if you fly out of LAX, which is of course the easiest, straight flights. And it was just I can't afford that shit.
I got special discounts with Southwest. I can fly out there for under $250 round trip.
Really?
Yo, hook it up.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
But your name isn't Gibby Z though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but your name is Darius Fields, so hook it up,
That's
bro.
true, that's true. We'll see.
Kind of on the whole Road to EVO thing. Definitely a few things got shown this last week. A couple trailers. Darkstalkers Resurrection. The trailer for that came out, and Darkstalkers Resurrection, or more specifically Vampire Savior, is getting featured at UFGT in May, with a couple tournaments for that, and then the new Injustice trailer featuring Aquaman. And I feel like that game, once it finally drops in April, is going to be kind of making its rounds, and I know they're talking about doing something special for it at EVO. So,
Well,
Yo, Aquaman though.
are they like reaching really deep to make him look like viable? Because like he's kind of the bitch DC character.
I don't know. It's hard to say because a lot of the trailer is pretty cinematic, so you don't get to see a ton of gameplay, and it's really hard for me to make heads or tails of how Injustice is going to turn out, other than it looks like Mortal Kombat 9 plus. And I'm honestly fine with that, because I thought Mortal Kombat 9 was a really good game, aside from some really notable glitches and some suspect character balance at the very beginning. So,
But that's what all those patches were for, right? Maybe they'll do the same thing this time.
yeah, I hope they do. I think that Injustice has a really good chance of being successful because it already has a community built in. Like the Mortal Kombat community, I think, is already prepped to support this game when it comes out. So I hope they find something they like in it.
Right.
And I hope the Capcom community does too.
Okay.
Hopefully, it could just be a good game that could be universally played.
I hope so.
Yeah. Nice.
And then with Darkstalkers Resurrection, I'm honestly just hoping we get an arcade perfect Vampire Savior.
You think that many people will notice?
Yeah. Oh, they'll notice.
All the people who play the game hardcore and will be the ones who teach other people, they'll notice.
Okay.
That's the big problem.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much
like-
once the people that actually play it notice, like they'll tell other people, and then even people that don't play the game will complain about it because
Yeah, which is what happened with Third Strike Online.
Oh.
Yeah, that happens with every game. Like, it even happened with Mark of the Wolves when it came out for Dreamcast. When I started telling everyone all the bugs and shit in it, everyone's like, "Oh, that game's not even arcade perfect. Why do people play it?" it's garbage. It's like, oh,
That's kind of dumb how that happens, though, isn't it? I mean, like, I know, like, Arcade Perfect is, like, what we would prefer, but if it's not, it doesn't make it unplayable, but for a while, or even now, it seems like, a game on console can die because it's not close enough to the arcade to be played competitively, even if it's still pretty much a solid game. Like, Alpha 3 suffered from that.
Well, and what's hilarious about that is people complain about that, and yet all of us are still playing Marvel 3 on both PlayStation and Xbox, and they're not even the same.
It's actually the same. I think I may have told this. I found out that it's different on both PS3 or KOF 13's both different on PS3 and 360.
Yeah.
Every game is pretty much, actually.
Okay. Yeah. From what I found, 360 version is better than the PS3 version, since PS3 version actually has additional lag that the 360 version
I'll
doesn't.
let Roger Dodger hear you say that.
I think
No, I've
across
told
the board, the 360 versions are supposedly all superior because everything was basically developed for 360 first because it was easier, and then ported to PS3.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I mean, that's across the board. I know HD Remix had huge issues on PS3 with input lag, and it's just you go down the games and everybody, like, Marvel 3 apparently, what is it? People are saying Marvel 3 drops frames on PS3 or something?
Really?
Well, I've heard
Yeah.
it visibly drops frames. You can actually
Yeah.
see where it messes up. I've watched a ton of Marvel 3 streams. I've never seen it once, but
No, yeah, I
it's,
can't.
it's
disagree.
being reported as a very common issue.
Yeah.
To be fair, streams also generally don't go at 60 frames per second, so
That's
I mean,
Well,
what do
but
we know?
Players are saying they know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure it does, is what I'm saying. But
No,
the
yeah.
whole arcade perfect thing that generally comes from out of the idea that we want to make it perfect for the Japanese players, right? Like, so that we come over, everything's kind of has a standard. But I mean, arcades are still a dying thing, and that's really sad. But it really depends on how big the differences are, Like, I mean, if it's like a couple of frames and stuff, I can understand how that could be annoying, but it doesn't really kill the game. If it's some like glaring glitches or stuff like that, then yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there's definitely some issues in the old copies of Vampire where, like, they had taken out some of the glitches that are used in tournaments. Like, certain characters have unblockable normals in the corner and things like that.
Yeah.
That just sounds like solid Rushdown.
So, quick question about the Darkstalkers Resurrection. Is it going to have all the games?
No,
all the
it's
Vampire
only
games?
going to have Vampire Savior, and then I can't remember
It's the
if
second
it's...
game, I think.
Yeah, is it Hunter
It's
2?
Night Warriors. So it's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Hunter.
it is going to. Yeah. That okay, good, because that's the game I want to play the most. I love Hunter.
But I'm hoping that it's pretty good. I know... I'm pretty sure this is the same people who did MVC Origins, I believe.
Mhm.
And from people I knew who played Marvel 1, they were really happy with that port, so I'm hoping that quality continues.
I'm sure they found something to help it go a lot smoother.
Okay. Well, switching from major tournaments, we had some news about UCI Ranbats offering something to players to go to CEO.
Yeah, I mean, kind of continuing on the whole road to EVO. UCI here in Southern California, for people who don't know, that's University of California at Irvine, is going to be holding a Rambat series for Street Fighter 4, Marvel 3, and KOF 13, with the winners of the two Capcom games getting paid trips to CEO. They haven't come out with the prize for KOF 13 yet. I'm hoping that they get that together by this weekend when that's the first Ranbat of the series.
Yeah, one would hope, man. I mean, is there a reason why they're not sending the KOF players to CEO, or is that just something
I haven't asked them. I haven't, but I would assume honestly it's got to be a money issue where they're not sure that there's going to be enough participants to really justify it,
Right.
or even that because the plan is basically to send somebody who has been supporting the UCI Fighting Gamers group a lot. I guess there probably hasn't been a ton of KOF people coming in.
Right.
Yeah, that's most likely the case.
Well, they might get it now. I mean, people show up for free shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. I'm hoping they do they fill the brackets up, because this is something that when I heard about it, I was really impressed with, because you have a lot of people do qualifiers for tournaments, and then some guy who never comes out, never shows up to anything, decides to come out of the wilderness and get a free trip to something, which doesn't help anybody really, and it kind of probably discourages some people.
Mhm.
Whereas what UCI is doing right now is that basically, if you are a regular at UCI gatherings, which is every Tuesday night, that's the only way you can win these trips. So they're supporting the people who've been supporting them from the very get-go, which is, I think, a great idea, and it really helps that little pocket of players, their homegrown talent. It gives them an opportunity to shine on a national stage.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it would be kind of shitty if, like, a top player just didn't want to pay for a trip to CEO and came in there and won the series,
Yeah, I mean, because basically, you would get somebody who maybe is not necessarily sponsored because they're DQing sponsored players, but you could get, say, somebody like, say if they were giving the trip for KOF 13 and it's like, Mr. KOF just randomly shows up after not playing in tournaments for months and somehow wins the Rambat series.
Yeah.
He goes to CEO. That doesn't seem really fair now, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, we've seen stuff like this in the past with, like, Planet Zero. Although I won't compare this to Planet Zero in terms of, like, how they're handling the business side of it. But there is, like, that sort of stench of favoritism that rises through it. Like some people might think that Mr. KOF should be able to go to this Rambat series, and if he wins, go to CEO. And sure, we'll be pissed, but you should have beat him, right?
I think the difference in that is with the Planet Zero stuff, that was an SBO qual that was given to them by Enterbrain, and it was a national tournament that was supposed to have no favoritism. This is money that's coming from UCI. This is not being. I mean, I think maybe Jabali is helping them out, but I'm not even 100% positive about that.
Okay.
I know that the one thing Jabali did offer is that he said he would give free entry to whoever goes.
Yeah.
So this very well could be money from the UCI club's pocket that just to support their players. So they don't need to answer to anybody in this case.
Okay.
That's their party, and they can cry if they want to.
No, yeah, but that's cool because I mean, even if someone that like hasn't supported in a while comes in and wins, it's like, so are we never going to see you again? Are you only going to show up if like the getting's good enough? Like, there are people who are here who are dedicated and have been playing since the beginning, and then you're just gonna do the smash and grab and take from like whoever's actually been supporting the community. You know what I mean?
If you want to talk shit to me, Walkman, I'm right here.
You know what, Sanchez? I swear to God, you go out there and you win UCI, I'm gonna freaking break your legs. I'm gonna sneak in your bag, and then it's just gonna be done.
I'll break my legs mid-flight and then parachute out of the plane.
Everybody, this guy's a bitch, and I jump out.
Double O Walkman over here.
I'm gonna mega bus all the way there. Just follow you around with the megaphone. This guy doesn't deserve his trip. He doesn't support.
Walkman's gonna take the 2 weeks to mega bus the CEO just to do it.
Jackass!
Yeah. But I'm actually really interested as to who's gonna win that the KOF, regardless of the prize. I'm really interested in who's winning it at UCI because there's a bunch of kids who have been steadily improving.
Yeah.
That go there consistently, and to see them fight amongst themselves is really tight.
I think
Hopefully,
only
Wild
big
Wallace can regain his title.
Oh yeah, he's been a little too mild these days.
Yep.
But I think the only big names that actually go to UCI consistently would be like Ricky Diaz and Duck. Kane 317 used to go consistently, but he stopped due to work.
Yeah.
And Reynolds and Mr. KOF went a few times here and there, but never enough to be considered like regulars.
Does Warwick go there?
Yes, but
Oh, yeah.
not all the time.
Wow.
So yeah, he might be a good contender.
That's pretty much his.
Actually, I think he lives on like the other side of SoCal now, so it might not be convenient for him.
Yeah, because
Aw.
with is he still doing school? I never even remember.
I think he was going to school if he's finished. I know he lives somewhere in like Glendale or Burbank area, so it's not fucking anywhere close to him now.
No,
Oh,
it's gotta
apparently
be
he
at
lives
least
in
an hour.
Anaheim now, says Bland Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not too
That's good.
far then. Oh, hey, we
Yeah.
got Daryl actually.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Ask him about the price.
I gotta say, from all the white people that I've seen convert over to King of Fighters from other games, they have done exceedingly well. So tell all your white friends, start playing. Put down the cross tech and pick up the King of Fighters.
Damn, fewer Walkman.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know, that doesn't necessarily have to be King of Fighters. You can put down the cross tech and then pick up heroin or crack, and you'd probably be doing a lot better.
Yeah, I guess that's the official the support pulled for SF Cross Tekken from SDR.
Hey, man, I gave it another shot. We tried.
What was it, like a week?
Street
Yeah,
Fighter.
dude, I did the same thing I do with almost any game that's new that comes out. I'm gonna sit down with Steve and crack out for like 8 hours, and if by the end of the night I don't feel like playing it anymore, it's not fun.
It only took me 30 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like they seriously sat down and played from probably 10 p.m. to 7 or 8 the next morning. And then when they were done, Alex is like, no, definitely don't care about this game still.
Because I don't play Marvel that often, but when we did that for Marvel, after we were done, I was like, man, I'm gonna need to sleep, but I'm gonna be back in like 3 hours to fuck you up.
I think I learned something.
With Cross Tekken, I myself didn't like it at first. I still don't, but it's much more entertaining to watch on stream than it was before.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
So
It's
that's
definitely
one
an improvement over vanilla Cross Tekken.
The fact that you actually can do damage to people and make it stick is kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's definitely a much more rewarding game, I feel like now. For the player who's put all the work in, that you really do have to know your spacing more, and you can't just throw shit out.
Can't jump anymore.
Well, and like, you know, basically rolls don't just get you out of situations, and they don't help out the grapplers like crazy.
Speaking of which, I have a question for you guys. And this is just from a fighting game philosophical point. So, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, let's just take before patch and now patch. So, when you're not getting knocked on the ground, you can roll, right? And that kind of really hurts the Oki pressure game because it adds like another thing. But do you feel that a game should have that if you get knocked down that you should be punished before this and have to deal with Oki pressure, or give you an easier to escape option from, you know, Street Fighter Cross Tekken where you roll out or whatever? Because honestly, I feel like if you get knocked down, you should have to eat that 50-50. You know, you shouldn't have such a free option to escape, because then that kind of just like, well, what's the point? You know?
Well, the problem with Cross Tekken originally is that it was basically get out of jail for free. The worst they could do is read them rolling and then set up a cross-up situation. Whereas most games that have a wake-up option where you can roll, it's usually punishable. Like Alpha 3 is a good example. CVS 2 is a really good example. 3D games, obviously.
Yeah, Tekken
I'll have that.
get blown
Yeah.
up.
But Cross
Yeah,
Tekken
and
used to just be like, whoop!
And the best characters in Cross Tekken were ones that you could basically auto option select, where if you did something, it would either catch a quick get up and force a mix up, or would actually, you know, still actually catch them for rolling.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
force
like-
them to roll in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Isn't it like with Rolenta, like if you're in the corner, you can do jump down, medium kick, and then like it's a safe jump setup. But if they roll, you can just jump back off the pogo and then do a
there
cross
were
up
weird
kick.
stuff. There was weird things like that.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, do you think that makes the game a more wholesome product? Do you think it's just a different product, or would you prefer if there wasn't that kind of Oki option in the 2D environment?
Oh, like quick rolls and just the idea of rolling in a
No,
2D
like
game?
I'd like the way Street Fighter Cross Tekken makes the Oki game less dangerous. Like, do you feel that Oki is a strong part of like a 2D fighting game where you should have to be punished for being knocked down, or do you think
Well,
that
I mean,
it should be
I
more
played
lenient?
Guilty Gear, so yeah, of course. I think the knockdown is basically all you're going for in most cases, because poking is really strong, but most modern games have devalued poking to such an extreme extent that if you don't get a mix-up off of 50-50, it just becomes combo the game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Guilty Gear is definitely more about getting that knockdown and air footsies than it is like traditional ground footsies. But the knockdown is still really key for people.
Mhm.
I don't feel like any modern game really emphasizes footsies at all. I think that maybe Cross Tekken 2013 is trying to bring that back somewhat, but it still basically becomes a combo now instead of just a hit.
Mm-hmm. Like pretty much any errant hit can easily be converted into something that does 30% from what it seems.
Right, or at least it's a big like 2-hit string that just does a grip.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's harder to say now because the way game design has changed, like whether forcing Oki or not is the right idea anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the way Cross Tekken tried to fix it, but I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer in terms. As long as it doesn't feel like everything degenerates into an option select situation or a you're automatically dead situation.
Yeah.
SF4.
Bad games.
Or what about like Marvel, where like you pretty much got to block, but the second you get touched, you better hope to God you're not gonna get comboed until you die.
Well, that's just Marvel in that case. Like, it's basically, it's America's Fist of the North Star now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like even looking at like old Marvel 2, like there was a lot more damage and things went a lot faster in that game. But even still, it was like you really had to mix up your opponent. You had to think about
That's something that's always been really funny to me. How everyone's like, "Yeah, Marvel 3's got infinites just like Marvel 2," and all that tells me is that you never actually really watched a Marvel 2 match. It's like,
Yeah.
like the only infinite that was ever made fatal was Iron Man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Where he could technically 300% shoot, but for the most part, Magneto ROM was done for a few reps, and then he would mix you up by calling assist and then doing something, either going high or going low or switching sides, and then just starting it all over again. It's really reset heavy, and it was really impressive when people would block and guess correctly out of that kind of stuff. But in Marvel 3, it's not really reset heavy, and doing resets ends up being inefficient because most characters have 100%.
Yeah. At
Like,
the same
the only
time, it seems like the second you get reset and flip out, it seems like usually people will have an answer to what happened. Or
Well, the reason that happens is that there's 3 potential techs in the air, so there's neutral, forward, and back. So in Marvel 2, if you reset someone, they're stationary, and it's up to you to do something to them, and they have to deal with it. Whereas this one, they can reset and then decide to go forward, and you're like, well, shit, why was he holding forward?
And I think the hard thing, it's hard to compare 3 and 2 because we're looking at Marvel 2 as it is now, or even was a couple years ago, which is sitting on, 8 years of gameplay? Like, right now, kids can't even block a mix-up in Marvel 3, let alone 5 of them.
I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon, man.
That's exactly the point, is that, like, we're talking about resets in Marvel 2, and people, getting out of those resets, it's because they'd seen it before. People still don't even know how to block 0 in this game. So, I think even trying to say that, Marvel 3 is a problem, or Marvel 3 is this or that, it's really too hard, even now, because even though the game's been out for several years, all people are working on is their offense. I don't see anybody with smart blocks. I don't see anybody throwing Virgil out of. I don't even know what the hell that movie is called.
This reminds me a lot like a Mexican King of Fighters 2002. But continue.
I feel like at this point, you see so much offense and people getting mad about losing to quote-unquote scrubs. And it's because that quote-unquote scrub is doing something you've never seen before. Maybe if you had actually taken the time to play him, instead of thinking that he's just a scrub, you might have seen that one trick that just cost you an entire tournament.
There's no way my Doom, Virgil, whatever team could be losing to this scrub who
You played as Arthur, man.
He did a different tactic on me that people never did before. This guy's a fucking scrub, bro.
That's when you get like. That's when they reach across the freaking station and slap you. Like, what are you doing, being creative and shit?
Why didn't you do the same combo everyone else has done since day one? God damn it! I hate things.
Why did you lose to that Shuma play over there? It's because he's a fraud. I'm gonna expose him.
This guy's gotta pay money to win the game just because I don't know what's going on. You're the scrub.
These kids can't kill scrubs. Yep. They don't know how. They don't know what a scrub even is. Because most of them never played at the arcade. So they never got...
They don't know about the community college level fighting game.
Yeah.
No, that's a big thing, actually, because, you know, that's more or less where everybody who's been in this scene for, you know, as long as we have learned how to fight pretty much anybody, you know? Because when you're in an arcade, you're going to play good players, and you're going to play really shitty players that just learned one combo and don't even know how to, like, open you up to use it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like those guys, you know, it used to be you play somebody in the arcade, and you had no idea if they even knew what frame data was. But they might do some crazy shit they accidentally found, like playing against the computer randomly, and you're like, oh god, I'm dead.
Yeah, dude, it's like you're losing to some guy at the arcade and you're like, hey man, why are you sweeping so much? You know that's like minus 24 on block and I can do my plus 17 on hit move, and he's just looking at you blankly with, you know, probably doesn't even speak English, but
you know what? You just described
he still beat the shit out of you.
You just described my first encounter with Giovanni in 13, man. I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, can't?
It's like you keep trying to throw out electrics and all you do is get sweep.
It's like, why aren't you doing the optimal Benny Maru combo with the 400 like jump cancel lightning things? And he's like, ¿Sabes que yo no sé lo que dices? I just like it.
There's definitely a level of play which is, this is working, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I feel like so many players now are trying to play this next level, quote unquote, this upper echelon tier play, especially in Marvel 3, when you got some dudes down at the bottom playing in the mud, and they're like, look, I got Wolverine. I'm just going to dive kick, bro.
Look, man, I've analyzed so much data. I saw what the pros did on the screen. I don't know why they made these decisions, but if I repeat it, certainly I'll get top 8 someday.
He's going to turn on speed up super. He's going to do Swiss cheese because he's hitting the buttons a little fast. You might just lose to it.
Oh shit, it's a frame trap.
Because if you crack under pressure and you decide all of a sudden that this guy might be doing something you've never seen before, you might have just got thrown into 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And that happens so much. Like, somebody is like, they feel pretty confident about a match, and then the guy who's probably worse than him does just like this really dumb thing that blows up his otherwise impregnable, you know, defense or offense, right? And he's just mind fucked from that point on. He's just like, oh my god, this guy's been like, you know, sandbagging me for the last 10 minutes. I don't think I can make it, man.
This guy's the real.
Yeah.
I mean, it really kind of upsets me because last week I definitely saw a couple tweets from people in SoCal about how, and I hate to blow him up, but Infrit's one of these people, talking about how he doesn't want to go to the runback anymore because he feels worse playing these people.
Yeah.
And you can't get worse by playing people. If you're getting worse, that means you stop trying or you're just bad yourself.
Thanks. I needed to hear that.
Well, I mean, it's like people will get lulled into like this autopilot mentality, and then it's like you play other people and it's like, oh man, I'm so worse. I'm so used to these tactics. It's like, well, maybe it's because you're not analyzing your own play. You're not really trying to capitalize. Like, if everybody here's that bad, like you should be like triple perfecting like every time if it's as bad as you claim. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the heart of it right there.
I think people have one mode where they're comfortable with their, like, you know, with their play style, and then when they feel uncomfortable, they go straight into reactionary mode and don't really get to analyze anything, you know? Like, they're just trying so hard not to get hit by the big HD setup that they're totally missing, like, all the little damage they're taking to avoid that, you know?
No, that's exactly it. I mean, I've definitely, when I learned games, I was taught by people who I had a lot of respect for, and people who won a lot of tournaments. And the thing they told me was that you always can find something to learn from each player you play. Whether it's just, maybe you make your defense a little better, make sure you never drop this hit confirm or that hit confirm, or even just different strategies by watching what they do and how they react to certain situations. In fact, the way you might learn is, hey, I've never played this guy before. He's never seen my character. How does he react to my mix-up knowing nothing?
Yeah.
But like you said, people don't analyze their matches like that.
Yeah.
No, most people just like, I'm notorious for this. I'm just like, well, it didn't work this time, so might as well keep plugging away at it till it does. One of these days, he's just gonna guess wrong.
Yeah, it's one of those things where people just assume that if someone's not good, they can't get anything from them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been playing with PR Rock, Filipino champion Justin Wong every day. My Marvel 3 game should be impeccable. Loses to some guy at the run back. Loses to Hanzo Gonzo.
And the thing about that, though, is those players are really good, but that doesn't mean that, at a straight, bare physical level, that their reactions are any better than anybody else's, there can be, a dude who knows shit about Marvel, but is just maybe he takes shots of Ritalin every week, and, he's just fucking right on it every fucking time, right?
Oh, he's in the Matrix?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So he doesn't know combos, but he blocks everything.
Yeah.
And then there's certain situations in a game where people, and I see this a lot, where people will be like, he just did the stupidest shit ever, and it worked. Well, it's like, because you had assumed he was going to do something smart, and the option you chose did not cover both the smart option and the stupid option. So who's really smarter? You for outthinking yourself and wasting your time learning shit that doesn't work? Or this guy for going the straight line? I think he wins. I think you're the idiot.
Yeah.
It's like getting into a fist fight with someone over something or whatever, and then you don't expect the guy to hit you in the balls, and then he does.
That's
Come on, dude. The unwritten rule. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm here to win. I don't want to get my teeth knocked out and wake up freaking in a stone cell. Hell no. You're going down, and I'm leaving.
Yeah, dude. The fight starts. You're like, all right, we're going in the Queen's rules.
Yeah.
And then the best is afterwards when you lose to somebody like that. Some people are just like, I'm going to wait to see who this guy plays next to see if he's the real deal or if I just got fucking randomed out, quote unquote.
That's one of those things about the arcade not being around anymore, because you don't get the exposure to that, the whole spectrum of play, where it's like you have the fucking lowest of the low, the guys that can't block sweeps on their wake up. And then you have it's like, oh, on the other machine there's Pyro Lee doing fucking infinite combos with Genai and I'm not even sure what's going on over there. And then you have some dude in the middle that's just like, hey, I'm kind of good, I'm kind of bad, I'm predictable maybe, but I've got consistent combos and poking. You don't get that entire variety of play. You just play against people or you think are good, and then you kind of learn to fight against that, but you never learn to fight against Jackass that can't block sweeps and is probably only doing sweeps himself.
Right.
If I wake up Shoryuken every time, he's going to get hit by it once.
And that's why I say, when you ever find yourself in that position, you have to look at what you do and where it's leaving you vulnerable, Mm-hmm. A lot of people will, if they lose a lot, they'll ask you, hey, what did I do wrong? And it's kind of like, maybe I wasn't even watching the match or something, but it sounds like you just, fucked yourself out of it. So you need to go back and look at what you did wrong. And, you'll see that you're taking some risk that you don't need to take.
Zarek brings up a very valid point. If you haven't won EVO, you can't critique anyone's game. Darn.
I don't even know about that, man.
Argument invalid, guys. We're done.
Damn, we just wasted 20 minutes on that.
No, but it's there's a guy who might be really bad, right, that you're playing, let's just say you're playing tournament, and you lose the first round. A lot of people's reaction to that is getting, flustered and you're like, what? This guy sucks. How did I lose? In reality, it's more like, if you don't know how to fight him, play a more defensive, neutral game and just kind of analyze what he does and, test things here and there. Even if you lose that first match, you can still bring it back. There's no disregarding that. You got to really analyze what's going on if you don't understand the situation.
Right.
Maybe you don't have enough time to do that. But, there's always the chance that you can just really get a lot of information out of a player, and from that you can just apply it to everyone else that you play, because maybe he played really unorthodox, but it's not like other people can't play like him.
Yeah,
dude. There's a. No, go ahead, Paul.
There's definitely something to be said for being able to adjust, just kind of throwing rounds away. Like if you're slower or faster at adjusting, you can basically spend a round just playing footsies and taking risks that you know are bad to see how that person reacts. And if you lose the round, all you lost was a round, but now you know how that person plays.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, there's a really fun example about Alex's Arcade around here in Santa Ana, because a lot of the populace there is just, random Mexicans, not to be racist or anything. It's literally just random Mexicans that show up during the
random
day.
Mexican.
To be fair, we were all random Mexicans someday.
We're still random
White.
Mexicans.
Why?
You're Mexican now by association.
Oh.
Are you non-Hispanic white? Because that's apparently a different category.
I am specifically classified as Hema-European white.
Okay, so who do you hang out with? Do you hang out with Mexicans? Do you have
yes,
any
sir, I
personal
do.
relationships with Mexicans?
Yes, sir, I do.
So he hangs out at Alex.
Or were you ever friends with Mexicans?
Or were you
No,
ever
but you
a
say
member?
Did you ever show up to a Mexican family party?
This guy bangs.
This guy bangs, dude. So there's these guys that show up there, and they're like different levels of quality of play. Some of them are really good, some of them are kind of bad. But there was one guy in particular that was really fun to watch because he would beat a bunch of like what were considered to be the good SF4 players that you see go to AI or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And he never did anything fancy. He just anti-aired with every fucking button Ryu had. It was like the most fucking bewildering shit. Like you just see every Ryu just anti-air with DP. This guy did far fierce, crouch fierce, stand strong, stand jab, standing roundhouse. He did sweep as an anti-air once against the normal. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking genius. He definitely learned the game the wrong way, but it's now the right way.
His fundamentals are so strong. He has overcome the shit garbage that is that game.
So it was basically a wall. Like people would just run into him because it'd be like, oh god, he's just poking the shit out of me with these anti-airs. Time to just run at him at the floor, and you just fucking EX fireballs your face because he has a billion meter from anti-airing you. And it's just like, wow, this guy definitely could be way better, but this dude's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's
like if you kids learn how to deal with it.
if you like I say, as long as you probably learn the fundamentals. Like, okay, so maybe you can hit a guy once or twice every now and again, but you can never capitalize with the combo. But if you block and never get hit, eventually you're going to win. It's better than just being like, I'm going to jump in, go for that mix-up like 100 times, and if I hit him once, hopefully I can kill him with my 100% combo. Or you can play really solidly and be like, well, I'm just not going to get hit at all, so, this guy, freaking putazo over here, needs to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly correct.
Since I have to remind people I play 3S, but if there's one game that teaches you how to pick out your own bad habits and somebody else's bad habits, it's threes, because you have an option to shut it down over and over again. Mm-hmm. Like you have people that mash crouching jab on wake up in every game, right?
Yeah.
3S is the one game where like, oh, he's gonna do it, time to die.
Yeah.
Or when you see yourself start doing it and somebody parries your crouching jab, you're like, you know what? I should probably stop doing this.
Yep. Always following up the first rook with the second one just for a poke? Nuh-uh.
Yep. Nah, bruh. You just didn't want to win.
Mm-mm.
No, you did not. But
Oh.
and that's not to say that if somebody beats you, you can't get mad about it, because everybody gets mad about losing.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, especially in a tournament, if you want to just be like, if you just want to go off and be like, oh, that guy is such a fucking scrub, and but as long as you can sit back later and go, man, I really messed that up.
If getting mad's going to calm you down and help you realize what the mistakes were, like, to help get you back into a more regular state, go for it. But if you're just going to be mad and not take anything from that, obviously you're the person that really lost in the situation.
Yeah, it's like, you're the one who sucks.
Not only did you lose, but you got really upset about it, and you learned nothing from the situation where you could have. And that's like, well, good job. You just wasted not just your money, but your time.
Yep. And the funny thing too is that Alex is talking about that guy at Alex's Arcade. Is that maybe he wouldn't beat Daigo. He wouldn't place top 8 in the tournament. I don't know that he cares. He's probably there to just beat people at Alex's Arcade. The only thing that matters to him is whether he just won the game you guys played.
Yeah. He's living in the now, man.
This guy's so far ahead of us, dude. We're not even on the fucking map.
Yeah.
But we should try to continue with the topics here. We can go back to this later because we actually do have some some community events to announce. Alex had something to talk about, something in Australia or something.
Oh yeah, our buddy Moose King let us know about this. This
sweet.
upcoming 22nd and 24th of ye old February in Sydney, we're having the Oz Hado Nationals. I think number 11.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they have pretty decent KOF players out there. And I think what was it last year? We had that pretty intense money match.
Oh yeah,
So that's something
definitely.
to look forward to. Yeah, and I think it's going to be streamed on Twitch at the Oz Hado. I think it is just Oz Hado. So.
Yeah, Hado is spelled what is it? Hadou?
Yeah.
I honestly have no concept of Australia or the Australia KOF scene, so which side of Australia is this going to be on?
Sydney. So that's the
Where
part
the
with
Olympics were.
the no, it's is that the hobo spiders or the kangaroos?
Both.
Isn't that both of that? You know, I don't even know.
Hold on, Spider Carnage is in here. Which side is it?
It should be east side, I think, or the east coast, around there.
East side, west side?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the hobo spiders. He says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So check out their website, Ozhadou. That's OZHADOU.net. And also, it'll be streamed Twitch TV/Ozhadou, spelled the same way. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm
east
looking
side.
forward to that.
Should be interesting. Like I said, I haven't gotten to see a lot of it. All I saw was the end of the very end of Shadowloo from last year.
Yeah. I
Keeping
remember.
up.
I remember Shadowloo Showdown. I think 2 years ago or so. Pretty much like this is totally off topic, but what happened was that I was watching my aunt's house because they were moving and stuff like that, and I was just since it was just me in this new big house, just doing absolutely nothing. It was awesome, but I just stayed up all night watching Shadowloo Showdown. It was actually really, really good. I thought it was hilarious when I saw Mike Ross just wake up Ultra and win and stuff like that. Against
Oh,
Mago.
I remember seeing that. That was embarrassing.
I was like, wow, Mago was like, he must be real mad about this one.
I
But
think that's when Nerd Josh was staying with us. I think we were both up at like 4 a.m. just watching it. And after that, I was like, it's time to go to bed.
there's clearly a line when we should have went to bed and we passed it.
No, the level of play is not going to get any better than this. We should just.
Yeah, exactly.
this is the uppermost echelon that Paul was talking about. Like
This is the pinnacle.
They really should have just run a big thing that said outplayed on the screen right there.
tournament should have been over. Nobody should have won anything. It should have just been like, all right, you all can go home now. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
seriously. And with that Wake Up Ultra, Mike Ross completed his final task, ascending into Mount Olympus.
He is now the god of Ultra.
Yeah, so always good footage coming out of Australia. Speaking more locally, there's actually a tournament happening in Oakland coming up. Let me see if I can get the information on that really quick.
Oh,
But,
yeah, Oakland.
On Oaktown, man. It's actually held at this, I think it's a museum or something.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they basically, it's like a museum, tech museum or something like that, and they have like a gaming exhibit section, and there's like, you know, there in the past they've had tournaments there. I haven't been to one yet, but I heard that Gindy used to talk shit up and down about how he would whoop Giovanni's ass in '98 there. So I've always wanted to make it out there to see that. But yeah, they'll be having KOF $5 entry. So you guys are broke, you know, pay for BART, keep $5 in your pocket. You might walk home with 15. I don't know. There will also be Melee doubles and Melee singles and Street Fighter 2012. I'm assuming they mean AE 2012. And of course, Ultimate Marvel 3. I believe this is some kind of Rambet series because they're also offering points. So
Cool.
this may become a more regular thing.
So if you show up, it'll live. You can get to play. You get to level up, have a community, actually do something. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Who wants to do things like that?
Ain't nobody in Oakland doing.
Enjoy a community.
And you get to go to Oakland now, and they've moved out all the black people, so it's actually nice.
You're at a museum. You don't have to worry about it. People of questionable content of all races and age groups won't be going to a museum, hopefully.
Sir, I did not sign up for a political discussion here today. And I'll have you know I feel uncomfortable as a white American.
Well, maybe with this,
About these
maybe this
colors.
is like some sort of a game plan so that we can reintegrate certain groups into a more refined institution.
I fucking get it now, Walkman. You're trying to gentrify fighting games.
Yeah, man. You want us to all be suit and ties like you? Fuck no, man. I'm taking my shirt off right now.
It's like, what happened, Walkman? You just woke up one day with your rich, affluent life, and you're just like, I'm gonna go slumming today. I'm gonna play Arcana Heart 3. Yeah. Their community.
Poverty. Good God, but yeah.
Your privilege,
Yeah.
Walk.
Speaking of which, obviously Arcana Heart 3 for me was maximum poverty because I got it for my birthday and I was really excited. And then PSN immediately went down and I potentially had my credit card information stolen. So
Bad luck, Walkman.
that real poverty, that authentic, I could potentially lose everything I have to my name poverty.
You need to make that a meme, man. Just bad luck, Walkman.
That would be pretty cool. I would watch.
Don't worry, I take most things in stride.
Buys Arcana Heart 3, gets credit card stolen.
Well, looks like I set myself up for that one. I
Oh,
like
dude.
Arcana Heart 3 though. I mean, I'm not really good at it, but yeah.
You and like 2 other people in NorCal. Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm all about that Kira.
Top 3.
Doing 1080s just cause I can.
Oh, well, so yeah, check that out if you can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it because it's actually this weekend, and I'm not going to be doing much of anything this weekend except for laundry and preparing for my parents to be in town.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Anybody else
I'm
got anything?
excited hearing about it.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited hearing about it because it's actually with Starbase having done Lost in Space last Sunday, and the MGL having a KOF tournament up last Friday. This would make the third, KOF related event happening within 3 weeks, more or less. That's a good ratio.
Picking up speed.
That's right.
I do have an event to talk about, actually. So, surprisingly, there's actually going to be something in the Central Valley, the 209 area code and all that.
No
And,
fucking way. It's not going to be a public hanging or nothing.
No, hopefully not.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna die.
We just got
I mean,
electricity out here, so we finally can plug in our consoles and whatnot. We don't have to be on our bikes to generate energy. So essentially, it's called 209 Fights, and it's mostly going to be for UMVC 3 and Street Fighter 4 AE, because obviously that's the games people want to play. But there is interest in King of Fighters, and obviously me and LeBron will show up there, so there'll at least be 2 of us and setups. But there is growing interest. So, I mean, if you're out here like Turlock, Modesto, Stockton, Manteca, Merced, it's in Turlock. It's going to be happening on Saturday, March 2nd. So, I'm not sure if you can plan for that or not. You got about, 2 weeks. There's information. Let me get the link right here on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/group/209fights. So if you're out here in the 209 area code or anywhere else, I mean, yeah, try and make it out. Show some support. Me and LeVon will more than likely be there unless something really bad happens, because this is actually about 20 minutes away from my house, which is significantly shorter than the times I go to Starbase, Ram Nation or Southtown Arcade. So, I mean, just having something locally is amazing. Hopefully, this can pan out for me and be something that I'm interested in. And for all of you that are around, which is, I'm sure, none of you, but maybe you have friends in the area, tell them to come out.
I'm pretty
have
sure
friends.
Boner Hitler lives there.
Well, yeah. If you guys can't, if there's no public transportation that goes all the way to Turlock, maybe I could meet some of you in Manteca or something and pick you up and take you down there as well.
Damn, man. Walkman, the thirstiest TO in the fucking business.
Well, I'm not organizing this tournament, but I'm definitely willing to support it. I'll throw the fuel into the flames, and then once it finally starts burning down, I'll be out.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving me all alone.
God
Yeah.
damn it,
So-
LeBron, how do you keep getting back in here?
Yeah, you know how they are. Those types, they keep sneaking in through the cracks.
Wow.
My friends.
And then the East Coast, just because we do actually try to pay attention to them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Bum is perhaps going to start running something for KOF because he mentioned it on his Twitter yesterday. So that would be interesting. And I know Team Stickbug, along with all the Arc Systems Works games they ran over the weekend, they ran a KOF 13 tournament as well. I know there's some archives up on Stickbug's channel on Twitch. I didn't really look at them in length to see what kind of play it is, but it's definitely a couple old school Guilty Gear players in there. So I don't know. It's good to see that. It's bad to see that a lot of East Coast is considering the game poverty, but it's good to see that people are playing it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't knock the poverty status. I think it can do better than what it was doing before, which was absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
To be fair, isn't like a lot of the King of Fighters players and stuff and whatnot in Japan? They have like no money as well, no computer, no anything.
That's true for most players in Japan.
Yeah, well, I'm talking everybody's poor.
Yeah.
If you have money to throw around and you play King of Fighters, like you are the person that we're all gonna look to. Please.
The 1%.
That explains a lot. What were you gonna say, Gibby?
Oh, I was actually saying.
Oh, I thought it was Gibby talking.
Gibby actually said something?
No, I didn't say shit. I just said
I think Gibby farted.
Pretty quiet this cast.
No, I was going to say, I really hope that East Coast starts playing it a little bit more actively because as somebody who was originally from the Midwest, it was a lot easier to travel to the East Coast for tournaments than it is to travel to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we all know that right now in this country, the West Coast is easily pretty much the only place to play high-level KOF. So I know there's a lot of guys in the Midwest and even on the East Coast, small pockets of players who want to get better, but they just haven't had the time or the experience playing other people. So it would be great if, even just another handful here and there started picking the game up so they could have other people to play with.
Play with me on GGPO in 98, room 3, please.
What the fuck, man?
Gibby, nobody's gonna play 98 with you.
Well, they can at least try to play me Mark of the Wolves. That'll be just as good. I think.
I
No,
wouldn't
don't do
recommend it.
that. Well, actually, yes, do that, please, so you can understand what it feels like.
Yeah. All of you that ever questioned if Gibby has ever been a top player in anything, well, prepare your pucker because he's going in dry.
Wait, the pucker?
Yeah.
Pucker.
All right.
You're gonna skull fuck them.
Pick whatever orifice you like and name it as that.
He's gonna go in all of them.
He's gonna enter your urethra.
He's not
Man,
Jesus
Mark
Christ.
the Wolves catheter?
That can't be comfortable at all.
Ah, man, that worked in the hospital. Shit ain't funny.
Oh.
Nah, dude, just a tip.
Geez, why'd you say that, Gibby? Come on, bro.
Oh my lord.
You know what we need
Gibby
to do?
has done his best Snake Eyes impression this entire cast.
You know what? I'm just gonna make this as a social commentary as our cast. For some reason, like when we started, we had our usual 60 people, and over time, it really gained a lot more people. And I'm really glad that you're all here to view it. But it seems like once we kind of got more back into our playful mood, the number count keeps increasing. So that's always nice. I don't know if that's correlated at all. Maybe it's just the time's more convenient for people. But if you're showing up now, I have to say thanks a lot for being. We love you. And as I say that, one person has left. Hopefully, the trend does not follow suit.
I'm pretty sure it was
everyone
Isramic.
watching is just Boner Hitler. we got 200 people in here that are all Boner Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yo, he must be the FGC 1% with 200 computers.
Yeah, dude. This guy's holding out on the rest of us.
They got that command center, son.
Well, he's got to listen to us 200 times just to make sure that we're not, botching anything, because he is.
Yeah.
He's a
he
fact
is our
checker.
official fact checker.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, and
Fact.
to quickly answer is Ramik's question. Chris puts Terry on point because he's an idiot.
Yes.
Yes,
that was solidified on Saturday. Well, I banged my head on the table.
Yeah,
If
speaking
you'd like
of
to discuss,
that,
what would be a better place for him to put his Terry?
At the back.
I
would
like it
honestly
last.
say second.
Yeah,
But
second is what I
that's
would say.
Because I don't feel like he has enough damage generation to really justify anchoring.
Well, if you have him on
900
anchor,
for 3.
you have the Michael Bay combo.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's gonna piece out one person and take all your resources to do it. So it's like if
That's
it's anchor
true,
versus anchor, he's fine. But if it's like Terry having
Anchor
to plow
versus
through an
two?
entire team,
Yeah, it's not a
2
good
or
combo.
3.
For me, on 2 mistakes, you could do 50% on each mistake.
So it's like
How efficient
kind of
is that?
works.
Jump D into EX Power Geyser combo.
Yeah, but what's your meter looking like?
It's like
That's
one drive, 2
cross-
bars.
Yeah, that's still. I mean, he's super meter intensive. Like, it's just most cases. I don't think you're gonna have the meter to claw through 2 characters.
Yeah.
You might, but
Well, like we were talking before, like, you know, like it can actually shift the momentum of the game. Like if somebody gets pieced out with 2 combos literally, and he's like, "What the fuck happened to my second character?" You know?
Oh, yeah.
And he comes to the third character, and he's like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to him."
I definitely have to think that the amount of life bar is probably more mentally aggravating rather than how much meter someone has. Because meter can be gained fairly quickly. If a dude's got a full life bar and no meter, you still have to play pretty cautiously because if you can't kill him in that one hit, you know, you can really punish your mistakes.
Right.
yeah.
And it's actually is like I don't really run Terry up front. The era when I ran Terry up front for like as a main team lineup was like maybe close to the end of 2012, and that was sort of like my set team. And then like beginning of 2013, I had really just gone back to doing Joe, Terry, Kim. And then for some reason I didn't do it at SCR because I think I was like beating people with like my shitty lineup, and I was like, whatever. But yeah, I need to go back to KOF school. My diploma is no longer any use. Gotta get that master's degree.
You got that University of Coney Island.
Wow. Clown school?
Yes, clown school, man. Back in 2012, the economy was good for clowns, and now they don't want us around no more.
Man, that's a party clown school.
Man, you go to STAU, you ain't learning shit. Getting drunk. Okay. This is the part where I think we've run out of shit to talk about.
No, I got one last thing to talk about.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say,
Right.
Alex got something.
All right. So you're actually pretty hype about Under Night.
Oh, yes, I am.
You're pretty intense. All right. Since I'm already taking your money at NCR, and I might have a way to get, finagle, Under Night in the States. If this game ever does come out in the U.S. and we can play it, will you play me for money?
Will I play you for money? Like,
Yeah.
can I at least spend some time with the game first?
I'm not gonna fucking hold the game to myself and like fucking. It's like, oh, I've had this for 3 weeks, and I'm gonna tell them I've only played it for 2 hours.
Oh, man, I'll see what you do with Skullgirls, man.
Help make the game. I'm in the credits.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that. How come you're Alex Sanchez? Were you going for the ass, or were you just like because that's what people call you?
No, the gag is it's supposed to be it's Alex Dirty Sanchez, and I think someone just kind of forgot what what comedy was.
So now your initials, if you take it, is ass. Ass. Alex Sanchez.
Ass. I'm like, is this some sort of commentary on my play? Like, who did this?
Mike, I'm looking at you. Come on now.
Mr. Ass, it's your turn to play pools.
Raging, Mr. Ass.
But yeah, I'm down to play Unib for money. I don't know when it's coming out, unless they're gonna do some stuff that is less than scrupulous, like they've done with certain other arcade games.
You might say it would be unsavory.
Okay.
But yeah, it's possible.
All right. Well, I'm interested in doing this as long as I can spend some time with the game.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Because I want you to be at your best, which is everybody else's worst.
Okay, cool.
But a lot of people are talking about characters that don't really get play in America, like Robert and Raiden, and that kind of comes around to what we were talking about earlier about scrub killing, because you get a lot of people who will lose to a seldom played character, and they'll just be like, that guy fucking sucks, just lost the character. It's like, that's part of being good at a game, that you know what every character does.
Yeah.
That probably makes him better than you, because he took the time to explore that character.
Nope. If I don't understand it or know it, it's scrubby. It beat me. I have a really fun example about that. There was one time I was playing threes at some fucking community college, and I was playing against somebody that was one of those like I parry everything kind of guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna parry everything. So I was playing Remy, and it's like, okay, my anti-airs are starting to get predictable, and they're all like one hit. He's going to start parrying everything. I definitely did dash up fierce, cancel into EX flash kick, super cancel off of that, which is like a fucking tiger knee motion that you have to do instantly, and it hit him, because he's like trying to parry all this shit. And I'm like, fuck yes! Do you even know what you just did? And he's like, yeah, I fucked up the parry. I'm like, man, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't even know the shit I just pulled off to shut you down. I hope you burn in hell.
No credit for you, sir.
Yeah, dude. But it's like, some people don't take the time to understand what characters' options are. Like, if somebody hits you with like a right-in 100% because you got double drop kicked, that's your ass.
And I mean, even I had a big issue with that with 13 for a while. Like around EVO, I'd really burned myself out on the game because I don't just sit down and practice combos a lot. So I play largely without HD combos, and I just would get super frustrated when I would be winning and then basically get 100% HD'd. But
Welcome to my world.
But it's just something you have to accept for the game, or just not play the game.
Right, I've seen it happen to everybody. Shit, I was watching Yukichi versus Koko today, and Yukichi was actually getting somewhere with his Ryo Terry kill team, and he just made one wrong move and fell right into a full 4-meter Iori HD combo, and it was just like, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, it feels frustrating. And, you're like, oh, this guy's really bad. But at the same time, I just kind of look at it. You basically have to play 13 sort of like you're playing against CVS 2A Groove.
Yeah, more or less.
At all times. Just kind of accept it and move on.
Yeah, dude, it's like people that complain about Doom in Marvel 3. Where it's like, hey, man, he pressed the button. You got hit by it. Yeah. I think you got outplayed. You got outplayed.
But you can't say that to these motherfuckers because they just be all like, I didn't get outplayed, man. Like, it's the game's fault. I should be able to hit a button and it should know that I did not want to hit that button and nothing should come out. Therefore, I am still walking.
It's like, okay, so he hit dive kick with the intention to hit you.
Right.
And it hit you. Therefore, his strategy worked. Therefore, you got outplayed.
Yeah. And the real thing was, what were you doing to beat dive kick? If you have no idea what you have that beats dive kick, then that's probably your fault.
Yeah.
That you lost to dive kick.
Yeah, and I hate to believe that there are certain moves in games that like people just can't do anything about, or like people are just like sometimes I'm guilty of that where I'm saying like, oh, Terry just can't do shit about Takuma karate jump blowback, and I know he can, but when you're frustrated, you just feel helpless, like
you go into Eeyore mentality.
Exactly, you just put your ass in the air and wait for the dick to go in or something, right?
Why should I even try?
Oh man,
have my rising tackle baited again.
Okay. It's fucking like Eeyore in Shawshank Redemption or some shit, right? And,
oh, Shawshank Redemption, Terry? It's like, I'd like to tell you, Terry, stop that jump in, and then he won the match. I'd like to tell you that.
But yeah, but I do believe that there is a way around everything. At least in KOF there is. I've seen ways to get around shit that I thought was just stupid and ridiculous, and I've used them.
That's why people still play 2002.
Exactly. What? 2002 UM or is 2002 straight up?
OG. Like there's as much bullshit as there is in the game. Still, people still play the game, find ways around it.
Yeah.
Still play hella solid.
And that's what people got to do. You just got to find a way around what's pissing you off and what's keeping you from going to that. What's keeping you from beating the guy you hate, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While saying pick a top tier is definitely a viable strategy, while you may want to play top tier characters in tournaments, it behooves you to learn what the bottom tier characters can do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're never at a loss when you play that one guy who just is like, I don't like playing the characters everybody else plays. I want to play something different. Or I want to play the characters that I like personally. Because, no matter how good the top tier is, if you're only an okay player playing top tier against a guy who's excellent with his bottom tier characters, you're going to lose.
Yeah. And then you end up where we started talking about this at.
Yep.
That guy's a scrub playing a character I don't know about.
Yeah, the best analogy I can give you for picking a top tier is that you brought a gun to a knife fight.
It's just that this dude knows how to throw knives.
Yeah, except this guy's really good at throwing knives, and you never learned how to dodge that.
You pulled out the gun, but you didn't realize that you had to back up at a 45-degree angle in order to give yourself 19 feet of space in order to shoot him in the head, so instead he's already stabbed you in the throat.
Yeah.
As far as low tier goes, they know their shit. They know about the top tiers. They've been fighting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Your character is the thing they see every day. Yo, Mr. Karate, that's cool. I know how to fight this character because it's the only character anyone picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And Athena, she can teleport?
Fuck you, man.
to the karate, people actually still don't know how to fight them yet.
Yeah.
You see
That's
people
true.
losing to the same exact thing each time. It's like 100% of the time when karate wins, same bullshit he always does. It's rare you see any karate do something different.
Yeah.
So what
I
you
mean,
mean, jump CD, if you throw, it's into cross up, jump D, super jump, and the run up throw.
But the point is like one day there's gonna be somebody that you're gonna play, and if you play Mr. Karate, and he will know the matchup, and you're gonna do your fucking flowchart shit, and you're gonna do that, stand D reset to like jump cancel for the cross up, and you're gonna whiff, and you're gonna be like, wait, what? And boom, bang, bang, you're done.
Yep.
I mean, realistically, like even with like the going back to the frame data that I posted or whatever, like if you look at what his fireballs and such, like how negative they are, like there's room to do things in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the A version's a lot safer, but if they throw out a C version, you can punish that pretty effectively.
Here's a quick tip. You ever see Mr. Karate slide up your palm? Just fucking put your foot in his face. I see that happen so much, just unmolested, and I'm just like, come on, man. It's like, you really can't do anything.
Yeah.
But again, that's just experience playing the game.
Yep.
And there's a complete lack of it across the board in newer games. People think that just because a game's been around for a couple of years that we've hit the ceiling on skill or some such nonsense.
No, man. It'll probably take a lot longer to like let's see, fucking Guilty Gear, right? People have been playing that game for as long as I've been, almost alive and conscious and an alcoholic. So it's still evolving, it's kind of slowing down now, but with the new release, it's pretty much got a new lease on life,
Oh yeah, it's gonna baseline again.
Yeah.
So we got to start over.
Yeah.
Well, and an even better example is Super Turbo. We're coming up on 20 years since this game has been out, and only in the last 3 have we had a good T-Hawk player in North America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and only in the last 6 or 7 has T-Hawk been considered not ass in Japan. I mean, that's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Considering a lot of people are like, we already know everything there is to know about Marvel 3.
I just want to see that tier list, son.
Yeah.
What does Filipino Champ think about Dormammu?
Well, I was gonna do a Filipino champ impersonation, but I realized that there was a certain word that I can't say. So.
Oh my God. That pretty much hampers the entire paragraph. Oh shit. Speaking of NorCal top players, stick around after the show ends. There's going to be a North Bay tournament by the name of Why Me Dojo. It's a new tournament series started up by some guys that you may know of, such I think Vidon's involved with it. Harrison's going to be there streaming it. Of course, it's going to be on IPW channels, so you don't have to even leave your chair.
Yeah.
Just wait for us to leave.
Just stay here. There will be more.
There will
Not
be more.
us, but there will be more.
Yes, I promise it'll be at least half as entertaining as we've been today.
But before we actually close out, Hell Pockets, I've asked you this, I think, for the past month and a half now, but Mark of the Wolves, me, you again.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Normals. That's it. I only
Have you been sitting on this the entire show?
No. I'll tell you what I've been doing later.
Okay. Wait, no. Why does everybody want to take my money? Is it because I'm that
It doesn't
KOF
even have
player?
to be for money.
It doesn't have to be for
Whatever
money.
you want it to be.
It could be for
It's
whatever I want it to
actually
be.
just because you've been offering your money to everyone.
I have not been offering I've not offered any money. I have put it on the table with the intent of taking the other guy's money. I have not actually offered anything, and I have just not given it away. You gotta stop putting words in my mouth, man. Make me all flustered and shit.
All I'm saying is,
nuts.
when you get the money, because you're not going to be a scumbag this time and actually have the money on you, you should at least get it all in singles. So in the event you do lose, you can make it rain.
Well, I just want to say this. I asked several people, would they do the match with me? Everyone said, yeah, they would do it right away in a heartbeat. They would do it, even though they know they don't play the game that much, or they don't play the game at all. They would do it. Why will you not do it?
Because I know how this works. I've been here before.
But that was of your own choosing. Now I'm just telling you. Hey,
So you just want to do this like just me and you and Garland Market of Wolves, just normals only?
yeah, all I use is normals.
All you use is normals, and this is for nothing. This is just for straight up like so.
For whatever you want to make it for.
This is for the CPM that we get by streaming it.
Oh, baby.
Loser has to buy the fucking winner a turbo account. How about that?
That would be taking money away from my play winner, man.
I know.
That's true. Pretty messed up.
Pretty messed up. I mean, okay, I'll do it. We'll talk about the stipulations.
Chris, why do you do this to yourself?
That's what I was saying to myself. Yeah, this idiot agreed. Hell yeah, let's do this.
We're not doing it. And you know, look, as Chris's attorney, I've advised my client to stop talking to you.
Yeah. So as you can see, Gibby, it is not me defending Chris in this situation. I decided to take a spectator's standpoint. So you can't call me out on this.
Gibby's lawyer, Chris definitely just agreed to it, which is a binding contract between two people, and we have at least 128 witnesses to this contract.
But as a third-party observer, I'd have to say he said that he will agree on it as they can agree to stipulations, which have not been set yet. So thus the contract is invalid at the moment.
There you go.
Hey, I will hate this corpus the shit out of you.
Anyways,
Good job,
cut
counsel.
it out because we gotta go.
Yeah.
Would you like to sign us off, Paul?
Yep. Thanks everybody for joining us. As all we did was make fun of Chris, and we actually talked about some interesting things this week. Surprisingly, never thought we were going to do that again.
Wait,
Well, it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I'd say so overall. Join us next week for more news about the gaming scene and general bullshit. For the rest of the guys at SDR, my name is SuperFX, and good night and good luck.